Greetings, true believers, and welcome to a chivalrous episode of History of the Marvel Universe. This week's tale starts before the advent of the Marvel Universe as we know it today, in Black Knight #1 from 1955. Here we look back to the bygone age, hundreds of years past, during the reign of King Arthur Pendragon and his Knights of the Round. Despite the gallantry of those such as Lancelot and Galahad, there was also evil lurking in the land of Camelot. The king's nephew Mordred, later revealed to in fact be Arthur's illegitimate son, plotted to take over all of England alongside the villainous Morgan Le Fay. As a side note, in his earliest appearances, Mordred's name was often erroneously spelled as Modred, but it should be noted that he is in fact a different individual from Modred the Mystic, who appears later in Marvel Chillers. Our tale at hand begins in earnest when a new face arrives at the gates of Camelot. This foppish young man was Percy of Scandia, the cousin of Mordred who came seeking asylum after his home was overrun by the Baron of Emsor. Despite the others sneering at Percy's weakness, King Arthur offered him the sanctuary his name entitled. Merlin was tasked with showing the new refugee to his chamber beneath the castle, and once the two were alone, Percy's demeanor changed. Yes, true believers, Percy's disposition was in fact a ruse requested by Merlin so that none would suspect the true reason the wizard had secretly summoned him. It turns out Merlin was aware of Mordred's schemes, and knew that any who openly opposed him would be doomed to death. And so, to allay suspicions, the seemingly meek and cowardly Percy of Scandia became one of the oldest masked heroes of the Marvel Universe, when Merlin gifted him the guise and the ebony blade of the Black Knight. And so the Black Knight fought alongside King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table, becoming a true knight and defending Camelot against threats both within and without. But now we jump forward to the Marvel Age of Heroes and 1964's Tales to Astonish number 52. In this tale we meet Nathan Garrett, an American professor who was caught selling government secrets to foreign agents, only to be captured by Hank Pym, the original Giant Man. However, Garrett's benefactors also bankrolled his escape, and the American traitor fled the country to a remote Balkan kingdom where he plotted his revenge against Giant Man. After months of experiments and hard work, Nathan Garrett created a genetically altered flying horse and crafted a powerful suit of armor as well as a high-tech lance containing a multitude of weapons. With these, Garrett became the villainous modern Black Knight. Over the following months, Garrett joined up with Baron Zemo's Masters of Evil and battled against Giant Man and the other Avengers. However, this Black Knight's criminal career was cut short when he challenged the invincible Iron Man to mortal combat. At the literal height of the climactic aerial battle, just as his transistorized armor was running out of power, the Golden Avenger was able to knock the Black Knight from his flying mount, sending them both plummeting to Earth. While Iron Man of course survived the fall, Nathan Garrett was fatally injured. Desperate and dying, Garrett called the one person he felt he could trust, his brilliant nephew Dr. Dane Whitman. On his deathbed, Garrett confessed and repented to his beloved nephew, asking him to use his scientific research for the good of mankind. Using his uncle's notes, Dane Whitman created his own genetically engineered flying steed, a white horse named Aragorn. In addition, Whitman improved on his uncle's armor design and became the new Black Knight. However, the Avengers weren't exactly trusting of someone wearing the guise of one of their old enemies. Whitman quickly soured on the life of a hero, but fate seemed to have more in store for him when he inherited Garrett Castle over in England. Whitman intended to sell the castle and return to America, but while exploring the property, he stumbled upon a secret switch that caused him to tumble into a hidden chamber. This is where Dane Whitman first met the spirit of Sir Percy of Scandia, the original Black Knight. Yes, it's revealed that both Nathan Garrett and Dane Whitman were in fact the descendants of Sir Percy. We also learn that the ebony blade wielded by the original Black Knight was crafted by Merlin out of an alien metal and would make the user invulnerable to any weapon not made from that same metal. Finally, we learn how the first Black Knight met his end. During the height of the war between Arthur and Mordred, the Black Knight was dispatched by Merlin to rush to Arthur's aid. However, despite his haste, Percy was too late, and when he arrived, the king was already slain. In a mad rage, the Black Knight slaughtered the king's murderers, bathing his ebony sword in blood. Then, in the aftermath of the bloodshed, Mordred successfully surprised the knight, stabbing him in the back with a dagger made from the same metal as his ebony blade. While Sir Percy of Scandia died, Merlin cast a spell allowing his spirit to remain and await one worthy of the mantle of the Black Knight. And so Dane Whitman drew the ebony blade from its resting place, magically garbing himself in his own modern armor, truly transforming him into the new Black Knight. However, what Whitman didn't realize was that due to the amount of blood Percy had spilled using the ebony blade during his life, the sword itself had developed a blood curse. Sometime after this, Dane Whitman was turned to stone by the villainous enchantress, but his spirit was sent back in time to possess the body of his ancestor, Eobar Garrington, during the Crusades, and after he returned, Whitman started to become more violent and erratic due to the sword's curse. Fortunately, after a confrontation with Dr. Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme was able to help cleanse the sword of its curse and restore Whitman's sanity. This was until Prince Namor, the Submariner, used the ebony blade to slay his own wife Marina, who had been transformed into a monstrous sea serpent. This caused the curse to return in a new form, and Whitman's body began to stiffen and slow as it slowly transformed into the same metal that made up the ebony blade. Eventually, this left the Black Knight completely immobile, a living statue. However, Whitman's ally, Victoria Bentley, concocted a plan to resurrect the Black Knight. After summoning the spirit of Sir Percy once more, she placed his ancient helmet on the petrified form of Dane Whitman. This caused Percy's spirit to inhabit Dane's body and mitigate the curse, allowing the original Black Knight to live again. However, when the helmet was removed and control of his body was restored to Dane Whitman, the curse began to stiffen his form once more. Things finally came to a head when a resurrected Mordred and Morgan Le Fay threatened the lives of the Black Knight's allies and a host of innocent civilians, forcing Sir Percy to swear fealty to his greatest enemies. However, rather than allow his blade to be used to take innocent lives, Sir Percy sacrificed himself, removing his helm and relinquishing control of the Black Knight's cursed body back to Dane Whitman, who took no oath to serve Mordred. Then, to stop his sword's curse from affecting his descendant once again, the Black Knight's spirit entered the ebony blade itself, neutralizing the curse at last. With the spirit and the blade of his Arthurian ancestor at his side, Dane Whitman once again took his rightful place as the Black Knight. So that's the origin of the various Black Knights. But before we go, let's take a few moments to look at the flying steeds the different knights have used. Fans of Lord of the Rings may find the names somewhat familiar. First up is the Black Steed created by Nathan Garrett, named Elendil. After Garrett's final defeat at the hands of Iron Man, Elendil flew off and was discovered by Victoria von Frankenstein, the great-granddaughter of the notorious Dr. Victor Frankenstein. Frankenstein attempted to return the horse to normal, but failed, accidentally mutating it further into the creature known as the Hell Horse. After that, Hell Horse fell into the possession of the Latverian supervillain called Dread Knight, who later battled Sir Percy during the brief time that he was in control of Dane Whitman's body. Next up is the White Steed, Aragorn, that was created by Nathan Garrett using the same techniques his uncle used to make Elendil. Aragorn served as the Black Knight's loyal mount until Whitman's body was turned to stone by the Enchantress and his spirit was sent back in time to inhabit the body of his ancestor, Eobar Garrington. During this time, care of Aragorn was trusted to the Asgardian warrior known as the Valkyrie. Finally, we have Valinor, a black bat-winged horse created by magic that Dane Whitman brought with him into the present once he returned from his time during the Crusades in his ancestor's body. However, when separated from the mystical Isle of Avalon, Valinor fell ill, but was healed by Doctor Strange when he removed its magic and returned the steed to normal. However, when Sir Percy of Scandia inhabited the body of Dane Whitman, the magic that caused his resurrection also restored Valinor's winged form. And that's all for this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like, leave a comment, and share it on your favorite social media platform. As always, the issues referenced in this video are listed in the description below if you would like to read them for yourself, along with links to my various social medias, including my Twitch channel where we stream classic Marvel games twice a week. So until next time, true believers, Excelsior!